What's up, guys? I am talking about the comic books that I picked up on October 9th, 2019, coming up next. What's up, comic book fans? My name is Bruce Monroe, and welcome to the channel, and welcome to another episode of Comic Book Reviews, a weekly series where I review the comic books that I picked up at my local comic book shop, and this week was October 9th, 2019. That's right, folks, we're in October. The second week of October, I guess. We're in 9 days away from my birthday, which is pretty cool. Turned 39 this year, pretty pumped. Just about 1 year from 40. I guess that's a big milestone in most people's lives. But, yeah, let's talk about the books that I picked up this week at my local comic book shop. And those books are Powers of X, number 6. Doctor Doom, number 1. The Batman's Grave, number 1. Batman and the Outsiders, number 6. Batman Universe, number 4. Event Leviathan, number 5, and The Amazing Spider-Man, number 31. Wow, what a crazy heavy Batman week. You guys know, if you guys watch the channel, you know I am a huge Batman fan, but it was even a little crazy for myself looking at the amount of Batman books I'd picked up. And I didn't even name off one of the books that I did. I picked up actually 2 more. But I didn't read them, so I didn't put them in the list. But those books are Detective Comics number 12 and number 13. 13 came out today. But I realized I missed number 12. So, yeah, these are the books I didn't read, and these are the other 2 books that I picked up. I also picked up it's The Joker and Harley, I believe it's called. A crime story or something like that. I picked it up for Stephanie. We're going to talk about that on Friday night on our live stream. Starts at 10 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Yeah, so because I'll read that, and we'll both talk about it, you know, jib jab. But yeah, let's talk about the first book that I read this week. And that book was Powers of X, number 6. This is written by Jonathan Hickman and art by R.B. Silva and Pepe Larraz. I guess R.B. and Pepe kind of split the duties on this because it's kind of a little bit of a larger book. But this is also wrapping up the Powers of X and House of X series. Yeah, so this is kind of like a maxi series. If you think about Powers of X and House of X are basically just one long issue because they came out House of X, Power of X, House of X, Power of X, all the way along, and they kind of just told one big long story. But let's talk about this book. This book was pretty good. I was hoping, I guess, for something bigger, something larger to wrap up this series, because this was such an anticipated series. I don't want to say relaunching. I know I've said that before, but it was kind of like getting the X-Men, giving them a path, giving them a new, bright future for them in the Marvel Universe. And this definitely did that. There's a lot of things moving forward. I felt like this series kind of like fizzled out. It didn't explode out into like the series that I thought it was going to be. It just kind of like, oh, now we're just going to go into the series that are spawning out of this. And there's a lot of books spawning out of this. There's X-Men, Marauders number 1, Excalibur number 1, X-Force number 1, New Mutants number 1, Fallen Angels number 1, and the next book to come out is going to be Dawn of X. But yeah, this overall, it wasn't a bad read. It just, like I said, I was hoping for this big explosion of something. Like, wow, that's how they ended. This is crazy. And that's how they're spawning out all these books. It was more just like, oh, that's how they ended it. But the art continues to be absolutely amazing. Sorry, that still getting used to these new lights. But it was a great story, and I love Jonathan Hickman. Overall, the whole series was excellent. It should be collected in trade pretty soon. I would highly suggest, if you guys didn't read any of this and you're even a little bit interested into the X-Men, read this. You'll end up being into the X-Men, at least in my opinion. Because it was really good. It was really interesting. It brought a lot of life into a lot of these characters that there just wasn't a lot of interest for before this. So yeah, definitely worth picking up. Definitely worth reading. The art in both of these books, House of X and Power of X, was stellar. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I look forward to all the series spawning out of this. I will be picking up at least the first issue of all the new books. And then we'll see how much the wallet can afford after that. But yeah, Powers of X number 6, great read. Obviously not a good jumping in point because it's the last book of the series. But like I said, pick it up in trade. You guys will like it. All right, this is another big anticipated book. This is Doctor Doom, at least anticipated by me. I was super excited when I heard this was coming out. This is Doctor Doom #1, written by Christopher Cantwell and art by Salvador Larroca. Salvador Larroca is the man. His artwork is absolutely gorgeous. And this was an interesting book. So the last time I read Doctor Doom, it was in Superior Iron Man. That was kind of like a nod to Superior Spider-Man, where a villain took the role of a superhero. And what happened was Iron Man disappeared, and Doctor Doom, after, oh man, what was it? There was a huge event where he basically rewrote, like destroyed all the multiverse, the Marvel multiverse, and made one big planet, and he was the god of that planet. And then at the end of that, Reed Richards kind of forgave him and remade him, and he was no longer scarred, and he kind of had a new outlook on life, and he decided he wanted to take the role of Iron Man. And that was an awesome book. It was such a good read. I'll put the information on the book somewhere, you know, around here somewhere, but it was such an awesome read. But this is going back to Doctor Doom, I guess, being evil-ish again. He definitely seems evil with somewhat of a positive outlook on things. But it was interesting. I don't want to go too much into what the story was. The writing was really good. It definitely got its hooks in me. I'm definitely interested. I will continue reading this book because I do like Doom. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan, but I'm really into Doom ever since the Superior Iron Man series, so I want to see where this goes. I'm hoping it kind of still harkens back to that series because it was so good. This is what some of the artwork looked like. Again, Salvador Larroca is so good. So yeah, it wasn't a fantastic read, but it was pretty interesting. There is some Kang the Conqueror in here. Somehow he's going to be involved in this, and I will admit that I'm not a huge Kang the Conqueror fan. Not a big whole time travel, messing with that. And just time travel gets annoying to me. Same with like clones. But overall, Doctor Doom was a great book. This is a great jumping in point for any new readers. If you guys are interested in Doctor Doom at all, this should be a really fun book. It has a really good creative team on it, so I would suggest picking this book up. Yeah, really good book. All right, next up we have The Batman's Grave. This is written by Warren Ellis and art by Kevin Nowland. I love Warren Ellis. I really enjoy the books that he writes, but man, this book was weird. Started off like a normal Batman book. I enjoyed the beginning of it. It was talking about how Martha and Thomas Wayne, they knew their life was going to end, but before it ended, not so prematurely, but they had their graves picked out, and they knew they wanted to die on their land. And as soon as Alfred took the job, he was taking care of their plots and making sure their headstones were clean and all this, which I thought I was wanting to see where that goes. This amazing art by Mr. Kevin Nowland. So it's beautiful 2-page spread. But then it goes on, and it really kind of lost me at the end. He's investigating some murder, and then it goes into, I think Batman's kind of putting himself in the place of this person and figure something out, but it definitely kind of lost me there. But it's a Batman book. You guys know I'm only picking it up. If I had to give this like a rating of 1 out of 10, it'd probably be like a 6. Like, it's good. The artwork is beautiful. It's Warren Ellis. I know it's going to go somewhere. I was a little confused by it at the end of the book. So, would I suggest that you guys pick it up? Maybe. I mean, if you're a Batman fan, yes. You should pick it up. It's Warren Ellis. It's going to go somewhere. But for new readers, this might not be the best book for you guys to pick up. Excuse me. All right, next up we have Batman in the Outsiders, #6. This is written by Brian Hill and art by Dexter Soy. This continues to be a super fun read. I really enjoy this book. So the last issue had dealt a lot with Black Lightning and Katana, and this issue dealt a lot with Signal and, oh man, why do I always forget her name? Cassandra Cain, but I always forget her superhero name. Because it used to be Batgirl, and now she's Assassin or something. But The art by Dexter Soy is excellent in this book. There's some cool things going on with Signal. There's this great scene where Signal and Cassandra Cain have jetpacks on, which was really fun. It's just a fun book. This is not like the best writing ever, or it's not like the most amazing story ever. No, it's pretty good so far. It's just super fun. It's just a fun read, and sometimes like there's so many good, well-written, deep books that sometimes you just need like a fun, action-packed book, and this is what I would call this book. If you're looking for a fun, easy, enjoyable read that's dealing with the Batman family and the Batman universe, pick up Batman and the Outsiders because it's really good. I also enjoy. Brian Hill's doing a great job of writing Black Lightning. I'm really, really enjoying what he's doing with that character. All right, next up we have Batman Universe number 4. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis and art by Nick Darrington. I was going to say Alex Maleev, but that's the next book. This continues just to be a really fun, interesting read. It's Brian Michael Bendis. He's doing a really good job. And what I think he's excelling at in this book is just being funny. There's a lot, every issue there's some really funny conversation between multiple characters. There was like, in the first or second book, there was some really fun conversation between Green Arrow and Batman. In this book, there were some really funny lines between Green Lantern and Batman. And there's some good stuff with Jonah Hex in here. And the art by Nick Darrington is awesome. Man, I gotta get used to these lights and where to place the books. It was just really fun. I'm really, really enjoying this book. Batman is thrown back into the past, trying to track down this Fabergé egg, which has some kind of crazy metals in it that keeps teleporting him from place to place and through time. And yeah, it's just a fun, crazy read. Brian, I'm really can't tell you guys how well Brian Michael Bendis is writing this book. Yeah, it's a super fun read. Like I said, I don't want to go too much into the story, but it's fun. The writing is excellent. The art by Nick Darrington is absolutely great. Yeah, it's Batman. You guys know I'm going to like it, and the fact that it's written by Brian Michael Bendis just makes it that much better because this is a book that he's doing a really, really good job on. So I would definitely suggest picking up Batman Universe number 4. It's not a great jumping in point since they're in issue 4, but if you can find all 4 issues, definitely pick these up. All right, we got Event Leviathan number 5. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis again, but this is art by Alex Maleev. This continues to be such an awesome read. So this is kind of like it is a detective story. Some crazy, big, I don't want to call it, it's not a corporation, but this entity, I guess you could, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm at a loss for words. But Mr. Leviathan. Mr. Leviathan? What am I talking about? But there is this organization. That's the word. I just need to read the book. There is this organization called Leviathan that's led by a character named Leviathan that takes down all the major spy agencies in the world. And so there's no more DEO, Argus, Spiral, Shade, anyone that kind of like helped protect and the world is gone. And now the heroes that are left are trying to find out who Leviathan is and stop them. And no one's been able to do it so far. And this issue, we find Lois Lane. She kind of gathers some detectives that you wouldn't think are really detectives. We got Zatanna, we got the Elongated Man, we have Bullock and Constantine, and who am I forgetting? There's another character in here. I think there was Deathstroke was in here. The cast of characters in this book just keeps on getting better and better. The writing is excellent. The art by Alex Maleev is absolutely awesome. And the characters that they keep throwing in here that the main group of detectives is thinking or trying to find out if this person is Leviathan is absolutely awesome. I completely stumbled over the word organization and I kind of felt like a fool, but this book is awesome. It's a really, really great read. This is number 5. I believe it's 5 of 6. Yeah, 6-issue miniseries. The next issue is the last issue. If you guys are all into like kind of like a murder mystery series, but you want to have that do with some superheroes, definitely pick up Event Leviathan once it comes out in trade, or if you can find all 6 issues next month, definitely do that, because this was an awesome read drawn by Alex Maleev, which is absolutely incredible. Last book of the week, we have The Amazing Spider-Man, number 31. This is written by Nick Spencer and art by Ryan Ottley. This was another fun read. Just like Batman and the Outsiders, number 6, this is just a fun read. There wasn't a lot of like deep information that you needed to kind of like have a lot of fun with this story. If you're reading the Absolute Carnage stuff, this ties right into it. If you're not reading it, this still connects right into the main Spider-Man storyline. So it's like the best of both worlds in one book, because you're getting both Absolute Carnage tie-in plus the continuation of the main Spider-Man storyline. And yeah, it was fun. The art by Ryan Ottley, it's not my favorite Spidey stuff, but it's still really good art. It's very, very enjoyable. Trying to find a 2-page spread to share with you guys that's a little more interesting than that. But I guess we'll show this. But yeah. I mean, Spider-Man finding Norman Osborn infected with the Carnage symbiote. There's a little more in there, little hints to that other villain with the big slimy things. I can't remember its name off the top of my head. But yeah, it's a really fun book. If you're reading on Spider-Man already, you're going to be enjoying that book anyways. And if you're reading Absolute Carnage, you're going to enjoy it as well. So yeah, it's just a fun book. If you're not reading Spider-Man, probably not the best book to pick up. We're issue number 31. You'd be a little bit behind. So maybe it's not the best book for people who are not reading Spider-Man. And it's really not a good jumping in point again, because this is kind of like a tie-in. But those are my books for the week, guys. It was really nice not to have 13 books to read, 12 books to read. It was just an easy 7 or 8 books, because I didn't get the Detective Comics. But still, I didn't feel the pressure of the previous weeks. I still have a couple of books that I didn't read from the week before, and I also think from the week before that. I got Shazam, I got Doom Patrol, and an indie book that I can't remember off the top of my name because it's number 1, and it's something over the skies or something. But follow me. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, make sure you guys get a follow there, on Facebook, on Twitter, because I'll be posting the reviews on those books on those platforms. And if you guys are around this Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, please tune in, because Stephanie and I will be doing a live stream, and we're going to be talking about comic book news. We're going to be drinking some beers, so this is more of like adult-themed content. But please, come on, stop by. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you guys do like this, guys, if you guys like the content today, make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you guys are not subscribed, think about getting yourself subscribed and hit that bell button, so that way you guys will be notified when I post new videos. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks so much, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.